beneficial to all concerned. And then we are not going to have a song because we've been voting it down the last few meetings. So we're going to move right into having a seat. And do we have any visiting Rotarians? No visiting Rotarians? And do we have guests of Rotarians other than our speakers? David Bricka.
Thank you, President Lynn. We've got former member, maybe future member, Renata Maybrook. She's here, and she's representing Children of the Valley, and Star is with us from Children of the Valley. And I just have to say that Star and I have worked together this past year with kids out of Country Meadow Village, and it has been such a joy that we finally made that connection, having the kids and the residents. So Star and Renata, great having you here. Do you have anything to say? Do you want to?
All right, any other guests? All right, so we are moving on. I just broke the mic, some piece fell off. So just kind of to fill you in on what Bill was talking about, we want to leave the ability for people to shake things up a little bit, and adding some inspirational talks, educational talks, some prayer. All of that is going to be in our wheelhouse, and we have the ability to do that. I think we do end up going down the route of, well, we're only going to be praying, and then somebody goes online, pulls up a prayer, and that's what it is. Then we have Daryl, who prays from the heart and brings that forward. I think we want to mix a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So that's what's given that power. Carl. Better get your mic. Who's got the mic?
This is just a non-judgmental technical comment. When it's about God and religion, it goes before the flag salute.
Right.
When it's not about God and it's just inspiration, it goes after the flag salute. So today we kind of did it backwards.
Right. Yep. I just Steve Dahl.
The Toastmasters taught me, so it must be true.
Right. Steve Dahl actually mentioned that to me when I sent out this email, and thank you for that reminder. Travis, that's a reminder for you. Yeah, one more thing to put on your list of stuff to do. So moving on to announcements. I'm going to be doing the food pantry here. I'm leaving a little bit early and leaving it up to Travis. I've got a horde of family coming here from the airport. They landed about 9:30, so they're probably either arriving at my house or on their way. And I want to get there before they start getting too rowdy. But I'll be doing a food pantry, stopping off and dropping off things at the food pantry right after this. We've had a good conversation on dues, and I've gotten some good feedback. I got such good feedback that while Rich Wyrick was sitting with his toes in the sand in Key West, he was on his phone replying to me. And I don't know what kind of priorities you set in life, but if we could just give a big hand for Nick Van Jarsveld for showing up. Thank you, Nick. We appreciate you. Yep. Thank you, sir. But I've gotten some pretty good comments here, and Travis and Ruth and I had a really good conversation on dues, and we'll be discussing it at the board and bringing it back to the club to hear what our recommendations are after the board meeting. I brought up trying to move the time back gradually, and it seems like 12:10 is a sweet spot. It gives us just a little bit more time to get a few things off. It gives a little bit of a sense of urgency to actually get stuff done. And 12:15 actually makes it kind of hard for some of the folks that are coming from a little ways away to get here. So, 12:05, it makes it a little bit hard for them. So we're going to stick with 12:10 for right now. And we're going to shoot for a 1 o'clock, 1:05 shutdown. And once again, last call for anybody needing a Rotary presidential pardon prior to my leaving office, let me know. Hey, Travis, you don't get a pre-pardon. Yep, you're gonna have to talk to the assistant governor for that. And just a couple of other notes here. Our member Christina Trader, her job changed. She's moved on and she resigned from the club just the other day. And then I saw right on Facebook right after she left here, she got in a fender bender and the front of her car got crunched. She seems to be okay, but I think she's had a kind of a weird week. And I got a message from Daryl Heisler today. He's resigned from the club as well. Daryl is getting his house sold and moving to Camano Island. And so he's just moving on. And it's going to be a little bit hard for him to get back up here. And we just lost 2 members, but we just inducted one here recently, and we got another one that's in the pipe to be inducted. Adele Skinner, we've got her application going through the process. And do we have the mic somewhere? Can you get the mic to Kyle Rutherford? He's going to do a quick foot race thing.
Yep. So we're online. We have 36 people now, as of like 10 minutes ago. Signed up. We'll probably have close to 800 we expect this year, especially being on a weekend. Really excited. 49th. So next year's 50th.
Excellent work. And Mark, can you get the mic to Chris? I think that's you're getting your steps in, so.
I just wanted to do a quick reminder that June 25th at 5:30 in the parking lot over at Rothenbuehler's, we are going to do a hula hoop making party. So last year we made close to 60, I believe, hula hoops. We're aiming for 100, and they are given away to the kids during the concert series every Sunday. And then I'm just going to do a quick shout out to the sponsors real quick that help pay for the music and the sound. This year we got the Eagles Club, and they're also doing Beer Garden. Pet Wants, Donna Bennett Construction, D. Bennett. Blackheart Treats is a new one. Edward Jones, Nick, I still need a check from you. We got Skagit Aggregates, thank you, Stephen. We've got Mexi Craves, their food is amazing. We got Carl DeJong. We got Bill McCann, Julia, and Eric Johnson. Thank you. We got Mount Baker Mortgage, Sedro Woolley Museum. Thank you, Joellen. And then presenting here on the 18th, we've got Skagit Storytellers. So, and then we've got multiple others willing to donate for raffle items, and so we could do a raffle this year. So thank you, everybody in the club and community members that helped bring this together. And that money definitely goes to sound and to the bands, and anything extra goes to a raffle, and we'll figure out where we want to put those funds at the end of the summer. So thanks, guys.
All right. And I guess we could dedicate this meeting to Nick because it seems like he's taken a bit of a beating today, and that'll be $1 for just being yourself. And let's see, moving on to, it's time for a raffle. Let's get 3 items or 3 raffles and get your raffle card ready.
Okay, number 40. 40. All right, Les, come on down. $25 cash. All right. Oh, it says keep it. Thank you, Les.
I think he was telling you that, Mark. You can have the 25. Yeah, I think so.
Good. 64.
So somebody check in with Ellen after the meeting when she returns to work, see if she's,
And last, number 50, 50. All
all
right.
right.
Oh, another whiner. Okay,
Good to go?
we're good.
All right. So Sergeant at Arms today.
Wait,
we're
thank you,
gonna-
Brock, for coming in late. That'll be $5. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Sergeant at Arms today is going to be real easy. We're still working our way towards not having Sergeant at Arms, but it's the first of the month. If you have a birthday or an anniversary this month, that'll be $2. If you did not buy, or if you did buy a raffle ticket, that's $2. If you did not buy a raffle ticket, that's $5. Just as a, a future thing. And with that, we're ready for Happy Bucks. Mark, are you ready to do Happy Buck with the mic? All right. David, this is your second time on the mic today. You only get 2 today.
Okay, I'll give a happy 10 then. So last night I attended the Sedro Woolley Awards presentation, and I presented the 44th annual Brick of Excellence Award to Jordan Janicki. And it was a really special night. Lots of $4.4 million given to students from Sedro Woolley High School. It's really a great evening, and what's really wonderful is I get to share a little bit to the students about my dad and what a great guy he was. And then a little fun fact, 25 years ago, another fella named Jordan Janicki got the same award, and I had his picture. He's in his Eagle Scout uniform. So I had that last night, and Jordan was there. And so congratulations to Mike for raising a great kid. And then I have to say, Mike and I, we were classmates. So it started there, right, Mike? Right, okay, so there you go.
All right.
Thank you, David.
I got a happy buck that we're going to keep the meeting starting at 10 after. So folks like Brock and Nick, who literally work 3 blocks away, can get here on time.
There's no segue there. It's really nice to be back at the greatest Rotary Club in the universe. I am here representing Children of the Valley with Star Torres, who is our site coordinator. And we are really excited because Children of the Valley started here in 2020 in Sedro Woolley and has been at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church ever since. And this year is our last year there. So we have the opportunity to partner with the Sedro Woolley School District and put a permanent double portable location at Central Elementary starting next school year. So this is a big deal. But now we have to raise the rest of the money. Peace Health just gave us $200,000 and we're about 85,000 short of our portable purchase. So we are hosting an event right here in this building on June 25th. And we're gonna have some programming, some tacos, and an opportunity to make a contribution towards this. So I really hope that we see some Rotarians at this. If you wanna RSVP, the information is on there, and give a happy 20 for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a happy belated 20. Last month, my wife Rochelle and I celebrated our 26th wedding anniversary, and so I'm very happy that she's willing to keep putting up with me. But thank you.
Here's a happy 100. My husband turned 90 last Thursday. That's why I wasn't here. Still has most of his hair and some of his teeth.
All right, I've got a happy 20 here. I've got the family coming into town for Carla and I's 40th was last Sunday, and we did exciting things. I mowed and rode four-wheelers with the grandkids, so it's a pretty good weekend. And then my 60th is this weekend, and we're having our party here on Saturday night. So Travis is going to let you know to leave the tables all up because we're going to be setting up in here and afterwards. And so I'm paying my fines and my early leaver because, like I said, I've got the people from Missouri showing up, and I got to see how that's going to turn out with all my brothers. If you see people that look a little bit like me and wearing ball caps and maybe with a chew in, they're probably related to me if they hit town. So with that, we have early leavers, and I'm going to announce our speakers for the day. So if you got to leave, you're good to go. But we have Ben, is it Leschensky? Ben Leschensky, the Director of Philanthropy and Development at the Skagit Valley Family YMCA. He's been in this role since January 26, but worked with the Communications Manager at the Skagit Y since 21. Ben is a 2025 Leadership Skagit graduate and holds a Bachelor's of Communication Studies from Pacific Lutheran University. 2006 graduate of one of the greatest classes in the universe at Leadership Skagit, by the way. And we also have Marie Carlson. She's back in the back. She's going to be up here speaking as well, and she's serving as the Interim Executive Director of Social Impact at the Skagit Valley YMCA, helping lead programs to support youth experiencing housing instability in Skagit County. Her passion for youth work started right after college when she worked with the Rotary International Youth Exchange Program, connecting students and families from around the world. Outside of work, Marie lives on a small hobby farm on the west side of Mount Vernon with her 5 kids. A former foster parent, she understands firsthand the importance of stable, caring environments for young people navigating difficult circumstances. Her home is often filled with animals, visiting friends, and the occasional spontaneous kitchen dance party. That's all in that whole bio there, so I had to read the whole thing. So once again, I got to step out, but Ben, you're up, and Travis right back there is going to be taking over for me when you get ready. So got about 30 minutes. All right.
Get this all situated so that you can hear me all right. Thank you for the introduction. We are thrilled to be here on behalf of the Skagit Valley Family YMCA. I've got Marie here with me. There are also 2 other members from the Skagit Y that are here today. We've got Tom Pierce. Tom is the Executive Director of Service Delivery. And then we also have Kelly Sullivan. Kelly is our Grant Manager. So if you have any questions about the Y afterwards, you can come and find one of the 4 of us. Let's see, can we get the slide deck shared? That's all right, that's all right. Perfect. So we're going to talk about a number of different things today. I'm going to go kind of over what the Y is doing in the community these days. Marie is going to talk about how we're serving youth in the community. We're going to talk about the Sedro Woolley Rec Center, which is just right across the parking lot. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about an event that you are all invited to. But before we dive into any of that, I just want to take a moment on behalf of all of us at the Y to express our gratitude for the city of Sedro Woolley and for the Sedro Woolley Rotary. We are very grateful for both of these entities' support of the Skagit Y throughout our history. It was the city of Sedro Woolley that was the first civic entity that got behind the Hogue Road Capital Campaign. And it was the Sedro Woolley Rotary that really galvanized all of the other service clubs in Skagit County to get behind building the new facility that we have today. So thank you very much for your support in that. And you know, the capital campaign was a number of years ago, but more recently, the Y has opened up the Sedro Woolley Rec Center just across the parking lot here. And so we want to express our gratitude as well for the support of that project. We're grateful for the city's support of a $1 lease on that building through 2039, $100,000 in program support, as well as support of the upcoming remodel project of that space that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So from all of us at the Y, thank you, City of Sedro Woolley and Sedro Woolley Rotary Club. All right, if you want to go to the next slide, and actually one more after that. Perfect. Okay, so what's happening at the Y these days? There's a lot going on. And before I dive into talking about kind of the 3 buckets of work in which the Y operates, I wanted to share our mission statement. And the mission of the Y is that the Skagit Valley Family YMCA creates positive community change through relationships by empowering the mind, body, and spirit of all. Now, if I were Dean, our CEO, who some of you may know, I would break down the mission statement word by word, but I don't want to bore you. I heard that last week the speaker put people to sleep, so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is call out an important fact from the last year that kind of touches on why we do this mission. So if you go to the next slide, in 2025, across all of the Y's different programs, we served 7,590 individual youth across the county. These are kids that are coming through our summer camps or taking swim lessons. They're in our childcare programs, or they're in youth sports. So 7,590 individual kids. And this is a number that we're really proud of because that's a lot of kids here in our community. If you look at just the 5 through 17-year-olds in that group, 25% were considered low income. And as an association, we just went through our strategic planning process. And one of the key goals for the next 3 years is to continue increasing access for low-income families. So that 25% that were low income, one of our big challenges and commitments in the next 3 years is to make sure that all of those youth have an opportunity to be involved in the Y. Because if you think about our mission statement, the last 2 words are for all. And that's what we want to be in the community, is a place for all. So go ahead and go to the next slide. So if you think about the Y, there are kind of 3 areas of work, 3 buckets of work, if you will, that we kind of break down our work into. There's healthy living, there's youth development, and there's social impact. And I'm going to talk a little bit about healthy living and youth development, and then I'm going to turn it over to Marie for social impact because that is her wheelhouse. So in terms of healthy living, this kind of pertains to our facility on Hogue Road in Mount Vernon. We have the Bakerview Sports Center, and it's really any programming that is focused on helping people achieve their health and wellness goals in their lives, because that's a big part of what the Y does. So in 2025, at our main facility in Mount Vernon, we saw nearly 350,000 visits by nearly 10,000 members. And I was pulling the numbers last night, and about 1,200 of those members are Sedro Woolley residents. So a good portion of our membership base are people from here in Sedro Woolley. So we're thrilled about that. Some other stats from last year: we had nearly 32,000 fitness class participants, 1,800 swim lessons, and more than 900 youth that participated in a youth sport. One of our most popular youth sports that we offer is flag football. And we just kicked off our Sedro Woolley flag football season just a couple days ago. There's like 130 kids that are participating this year over at Cascade Middle School. So we're just thrilled about that. If you go to the next slide. For those of you that aren't members but are curious in joining, we are running a $0 joining promotion right now. So we'd love to see you come by the Y. We've distributed some guest passes out amongst the tables. So if you'd like to visit and see if the Y is a good fit for you, we'd love to have you come by. All right, I'm going to pivot into talking about our youth development. And as a Y, we are committed to serving families and youth in Skagit County, particularly those that need childcare support. And we do this through 3 main avenues. We have a couple early learning centers where we're serving infants through 5-year-olds. There's one just down the road in Burlington, and then one in Mount Vernon as well. We have before and after school enrichment programs. Here in Sedro, we're serving kids from Central, Mary Purcell, and Evergreen Elementaries, as well as a few in Mount Vernon and Burlington. And then we also have summer camps for Skagit County youth. We have Camp Anderson, which is out in Conway area on Lake 16. We have a licensed camp through our before and after school program called Y Kids Summer Day Camp. And then we have a camp for 3 to 7-year-olds that we host at the Hogue Road facility. And camp kicks off in about 2 weeks, and we are basically sold out. There's like a handful of spots that aren't filled, but hundreds and hundreds of kids are going to have summer camp experiences through the Y this year. So we're really excited about that. So with that, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let Marie take over and do her thing to talk about social impact.
Okay. I don't love to stand in one place. And I want to hear from you guys. Our social impact programs, we are really lucky to be one of 2 YMCAs in the state of Washington that runs social impact programs. And so what they focus on, we have 5 different programs that are all kind of related to youth housing and stability, including a prevention coalition out in Mount Vernon. So how this falls into kind of the Y overall and Skagit is that whole health piece, right? We really I love the 4-way test. It's the reason that I kind of started my career in the social human services realm, was that my first job out of college was with Rotary, and seeing the impact of people showing up saying, I care about my community. What can I do? And the thing that we really love when we look at all of these different programs and the people impacted by them, not only our social impact programs, but also like from childcare, is saying that it's the synergy, it's the collaboration, it's the connection. And so I'm going to call out Sam. You're not allowed to answer any of the questions because she's going to know all the answers, but I want to get just a little bit of a read from this group. Just one of the things that we talk about in prevention and early intervention around youth housing and substance abuse prevention is what are the risk factors, but what are also the protective factors. And so I don't live in Sedro Woolley. I get to work at the rec center quite often, but I want to hear kind of from this group, what protective factors are you seeing and in the community, or that you experienced as a youth that helped you become a community member who's showing up, who's doing these things of building friendships, building relationship, building community. So if anyone has like, what is something that is happening in Sedro Woolley where you see that happening, that connection, or that one of the things is Children of the Valley is one that we work with in Mount Vernon and Burlington. We're really grateful for a partnership where organizations can come together. And so that is one where we're able to work on character development and resiliency and curriculum where kids get to kind of get a better sense of self, and something that we're always working with our youth on. So anybody have any? Yeah. Boys and Girls Club. Yeah. Yeah, like after school programs, a safe place to go. Family Promise. Yeah. And even for like you yourselves, we were all youth once. Like when you think back to being 14, 15, 16, figuring out who you are, where were those connections for you that made an impact? Sports, for sure. Good teachers. Yes. Yeah, one of the best indicators is adults who care for you that you're not related to. If you have those connections, that is one of the best indicators for future success. So all of those things is why we are saying that what we do with these is so important, because we are trying to just embed all of those different factors. So we can go to the next slide. I'll talk a little bit more about across the parking lot, the Sedro Woolley Rec Center. I really want to highlight, because that I said I was going to call you out. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for seeing youth and the need in helping make funds happen to support what is happening across the parking lot. You can see it is amazing the amount of meals that we're able to serve out of. This is whoever got to go into that library when it was a library, and probably didn't get to go into the break room, which is our current kitchen. And so you can see 7,500 meals served in 2025 off of a hot plate and a toaster oven and a microwave that none of them can operate at the same time. Otherwise the Wi-Fi goes down and youth really like access to the internet. So yeah, we are grateful for finishing up a capital campaign that is going to allow us to have a kitchen, a real kitchen, and to be able to provide a lot more meals, a lot more skill building to be able to do out of that space. So one of the things that you might not know, you've probably heard of the rec center or like familiar with kind of what it is, a drop-in space, a safe space for youth, kind of what we were talking about, like places to go with adults who care about you. But out of that, we have street outreach services. And you can go to the next slide. Our street outreach services team meets youth where they're at. They're able to go into schools in Sedro Woolley, as well as Burlington, Mount Vernon, as well as parks and out in the community to engage with youth about resources that they might need. One of the things that we find at the rec center is that there are youth who don't realize that they have needs or that they can ask the questions of like, someone can help me. They aren't always able to self-identify as needing more resources to be successful. And so our staff is trained to be able to have those conversations, just meeting kids where they're at. So next slide. This is just kind of talking about like who are youth? If you study brain development, you know that at 18, you're not a fully functioning adult and you still need resources. And so we are grateful that youth for us goes all the way to young adult, because that 18 to 24 is a tricky period with specific resource navigation. You can think about like 18-year-olds that you know that an adult shelter might not be the best fit for them. And so we are able to support them to navigate other resources. Next one. This is just get involved. I would love to have anybody who would like to come and do a tour, see what the rec center is. I will play air hockey because I have realized that is really fun. That there's an open invitation, reach out to me. I would love to, or anyone here with the Y, to have you come over, walk across the parking lot, see what that space is. We would love to have you over there, as well as there's just volunteer opportunities. We have people who are like, you know, I don't really want to engage with youth. Like, I don't know what that looks like, but I want to support what you're doing. We have people who like pick up donations and wash clothes. There are so many different spaces about what involvement looks like. And even without direct engagement with youth knowing, if I go back to the youth and I'm like, you guys all listened to me and you didn't fall asleep and you cared about youth by just showing up and hearing about what's happening, that has such a positive impact on kids. So there's our lovely kitchen. I always do kitchen. And so, yeah, this is, we've got our snack center, and the great thing is it is a food neutral space. So any youth can take what they want, and with no judgment. And that is what a lot of the youth are accessing that space for. So to be able to have a kitchen where they're also able to not only get access to snacks, but also being able to learn some of those skills, both for just life skills, but also employment readiness will be a factor in some of that. So yeah, thank you.
I also wanted to mention, Marie talked about the kitchen with the remodel project, but there are a couple other things that we're going to tackle as part of the remodel as well. We're going to replace the flooring in the center because it's old and it's a safety hazard in some places. We're going to update the bathrooms so that they're ADA accessible. In the lawn area, we're going to put up a fence and do some outdoor work so that it's a safe place for youth to be able to come. And then we're also going to add laundry facilities so that those are available to youth. So we're very excited about this project. As Marie said, we are fully funded. We're going to kick off construction later this summer, and we expect that it will take between 2 and 3 months to have the center remodeled and better equipped to serve those youth. So we're very excited about that. This last slide that we have up here, I mentioned earlier, but we would like to invite you to the celebration of the Skagit Y. This is our annual summer event where we recognize our members, our donors, our staff, and our community partners like all of you. So we would love to have you come by. The theme for this year is backyard barbecue. So we're going to have catered barbecue food, lawn games. There's going to be a dunk tank and a pie in the face fundraiser. So if there's anybody that you want to dunk or put a pie in their face, you are more than welcome to come. There will be a short program where we recognize members and staff, and we're also going to spend some time talking more about the remodel project and celebrating all that make it possible. So with that, I don't have any more prepared remarks. We have some impact reports that are on the table, so feel free to take those and read through about all the impact that the Y is having in the community. Thank you. Yes, we have time for questions, and myself or Marie or Tom can help answer those.
Thank you for a great presentation. Thank you for repeating the true history that Sedro Woolley was the first city, because it's a point of personal pride and a point of pride for the city. I hope you, when you visit other non-greatest clubs in the universe, that you tell the same story. And I want to remind people that two of our members were the city council, Julia and Rick, that helped make that decision and make that happen. So thank you for remembering that. And don't be afraid to tell that story in front of other
Of course, of course.
I don't have a question. I just want to say that you guys have an employee that works at the rec center named Ed, and he is incredible. He's been a great partner to Sedro Woolley Rise in the school district. He always volunteers. He always helps out. He's just like amazing. So it's always good to give an employee a compliment in front of all their bosses. So I just wanted to do that.
I appreciate that. Ed is our director of outreach services, and one of the things that we are really focused on is those connections with schools, as well as being able to meet the needs of the entire community. And so part of that is having bilingual staff, and so that is another way that we are trying to make those connections, and we're really grateful for partnerships.
All right, thank you very much. I was just going to say that the facility is such a source of pride for our community. What an amazing facility! But that is such a kind of a small part of what the Y does in our community. So thank you guys for everything you do. It's really great. We had a really fun work party just a couple weeks ago out at the camp, and I think we made some really great headway out there. So that was fantastic. It's fun to see the space that all those kids get to go enjoy. So what a cool place out there. So thank you all for being here. All right. I want to say thank you for coming. We have Renata. Is Renata still here? Yep. And other than the Y staff, was that the only guest? I don't want to miss anyone. Star. Thank you, Star. I'm sorry. You are written here. Okay. If there's nothing else, I want to remind you that we are not going to take down tables. So let's just clean up. And otherwise, we are done for the day. Thank you.